When I talk about psychological safety with managers, I get mixed reactions. Sometimes people are very skeptical about it. They think it's about creating a nice environment where everyone is friendly, hold hands and sing kumbaya, where people aren't held accountable. Others feel very exposed when you ask them to be vulnerable, and others just don't see the link between psychological safety and tangible results. For me, psychological safety is critical to have productive conversations, learning, and innovation. It's an environment where people feel free to bring the best version of themselves. Don't you want that from people around you, to bring their best selves? So, how do we do that? We need to make people feel safe. How do we make people feel safe? We give them permission. We give them permission to be who they are and to say what they think. And we treat whatever they say with respect. It doesn't mean not holding them accountable. It doesn't mean that you don't create stress and conflict, but we do it with permission and respect. From the very initial level 1, which is being included, that's the first level of psychological safety, just feeling part of something. Level 2 is learner safety, where they feel free to ask questions if they don't understand. Level 3 is contributing safety, where they think their own ideas are worth being said. And level 4, which is the highest level of psychological safety, where people feel free to challenge and disagree. So how can we move up the different levels of psychological safety?
To create psychological safety in your teams, here's one thing that you can do. Create a dedicated time. Create space in the agenda that is separate from your team meeting, from your all hands, from your town hall. During this time, your team members can bring their questions and voice their concerns. It's a time where they can freely express how they feel. You can use it as a temperature check, but also as a forum for them to be themselves, to bring whatever's on their mind. During this time, you should take notes, be very present, and ask clarifying questions. You can summarize what happened in the meeting by acknowledging some of the things that you've heard, or taking some actions on others. So this is a way where you can start creating that space to bring everybody's voice to the table. And this is something that will instill psychological safety in your team.
Psychological safety is not about making people happy they made a mistake. No one likes making a mistake. But it is about creating a learning environment where your team feels that their opinions and their ideas are welcomed. But how do we do that? How do we give our team the motivation and confidence to share? It doesn't happen in a day. It's not a switch you can turn on and off. It happens in day-to-day interactions. So here are 2 things that you as leaders can adopt and bring to your team meetings and conversations. 1, show vulnerability. When you open up and you share your vulnerability, you encourage others to do the same. You show that you're fallible. You can make a mistake. You show that you're open to learn another perspective or learn something new. Use phrases such as, "What am I missing? Is there anything I didn't look at? This is something new that we're doing, so you might have another idea or suggestions or concerns, so please share that." So as a manager, you don't necessarily need to have all the answers, but you do want to collect all the questions. And when you ask these questions, you show your team that their opinions, their ideas, their questions are not only valuable, but they're necessary. Second thing is about how we respond, even if we disagree, because that will set the tone to the rest of the conversation or the meeting. So our initial response is very important, and we want to show acknowledgement or appreciation just to the fact that they shared or asked. So use phrases such as, "Thank you for letting me know," or "I appreciate you pointing that out," or "It's important that you notice that." Because sharing a different perspective can be hard. Asking a question can be hard. Admitting a mistake can be hard. And our initial response will frame the conversation and will make it just a little less hard. And remember, your team learns from you on how to respond, how to behave. So set the example you want them to follow.